We have three circles here. The diameter of these circles are 3, 4, 5 in the rectangle as shown in the figure. What is the length of AB? So let's quickly draw the geometries that can at least relate them. So I'm taking first of all the centers, and I have drawn a line from the center of the first circle of diameter 3, and I've dropped a perpendicular on another one. Now there is another center of 4 here, and there is another center of this big particular part, which would be right here. Now we have to think that how can we answer this question. So the first thing is diameter here is 3, so this part will be 3 by 2, so this part also will be 3 by 2, and the radius was 3, that means this part as well will be 3 by 2 because this entire radius was 3. Now that we know this particular part, and here we have this distance is going to be 2 units, the radius. We have to concentrate on this particular line, so we can maybe divide this into two parts. So I'm quickly drawing the figure accordingly. I'm dropping this perpendicular right here, and I am joining this center with this particular line. Right, we could also have joined this way because this line I definitely know has length 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5 units. So let's do this thing as well, and we can draw another line such as this. Alright, so let's quickly see. This is 3 by 2, so this part also will have the length 3 by 2, and this particular distance will be 3 by 2, and this distance will be 2. So if we knew this part, we can find out this distance, and similarly we know that this particular distance is 2 plus 3, that is 5. So if we knew this distance, we can find out this distance as well. So now the only question that we have is to find out this particular distance. Now this particular distance can also be easily identified if we can just simply draw one more construction here, and I'm drawing a line parallel to this particular line. So while I know that the radius of this circle is 3 units and radius of this circle is 2 units, I understand that this particular distance has to be 1 unit. Now we have this triangle in which this distance will be equal to 2 plus 3, 5, the radius of the first circle plus the radius of the second circle. This distance is 1. So this particular length will have length which is equal to square root of 5 square minus 1 square, that means the square root of 24. Now we already have the length of this particular distance, so the only question now left is what is the length of this particular distance. So let's quickly see. We have this length is equal to 2 plus 1.5, that is equal to 3.5, and this length is equal to 1.5 plus 1, which means this length will be equal to 3 by 2 plus 1. 3 by 2 is 1.5 plus 1, that is 2.5, and this particular distance is 1.5 plus 2, that is 3.5, which means this particular distance will be equal to the square root of 3.5 square minus 2.5 square. So 3.5 square has the value 12.25, while 2.5 square has the value 6.25. So the value of this expression becomes the square root of 6. Now the length of AB is now going to be the square root of 6 plus square root of 24. The square root of 6 remains as it is, but square root of 24 can be written as 4 into 6, that means 2 square root of 6, and therefore AB becomes equals to 3 square root of 6, which is our option C. I hope the explanation was crystal clear. There were several constructions that we had to make in the question, but these are mandatory. Thank you so much.